What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Hagrit. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Momo. This is the fourth place match for the $1,000 Champions League tournament. These players make it to the semifinals and unfortunately losing in that first game, or losing that game to whomever they were playing, and now they have to play it out for the fourth place match. Third and fourth place do end up receiving a prize here in this tournament. So we give a little bit of something to everyone who makes it as far as they possibly can. So we'll see how it's all going to shape up in this series. Hagrit going through a lot of incredibly strong players to get to this point. Same too with Momo. These would be the top 4 players currently playing the game in a weird way. I mean, this tournament is obviously a weird rule set. You can definitely have a lone god player, a singular god player, or a single civilization player being a very, very strong player in a different, or going very far in a different tournament. And we'll see how it's all going to go in this game. We do have Poseidon. We do have Zeus. It's a fairly open map. A couple of puddles over here. A little bit of trees on the map as well. We've got ourselves a relic over here. Boots of Kick Everything. A big relic to pick up in the early stages of this game. We've also got the Oseberg wagon in the top corner of this map, which is going to be really, really important as well. So we'll see how this is all going to go here. And I mean, we do actually have a fairly easily walled off map as well. So the walls that Momo could throw up early game here, he really just needs to throw down 2 or 3 walls. One over here, one over here, one over here to shut down the initial Centaur raids. You can obviously go for some other walls as well and be fine. In terms of town centers, though, this town center is pretty far away from his base. Going to be a little bit difficult to get this one. This town center on the bottom side of the map, a bit of a different story, has some nice aurochs on it. There's no gold close to it, so all the gold kind of on the top side of the map. Pretty gold starvy map in a way. So we'll see if that's going to become an issue for Momo here in this matchup. And if Hagrit's going to be able to exploit that. We'll see what Hagrit wants to try and do in this game as well. We have seen a lot of players with Zeus going for Centaurs against the Poseidon, but Zeus has actually got a couple of really nasty ideas that he can pull against Poseidon, especially if the Poseidon decides to be overly aggressive in terms of their early game gold income. You can scout that out and decide to do a really, really greedy build with Zeus to get yourself 3 town centers immediately and find yourself an advantage where that's concerned. So you do see a Jason popping out here for Hagrit in the early stages of the game, and he will be advancing. Both players deciding to go through Hermes as the Theseus making its way over here to grab this relic. We have not seen the scout over here for Hagrit as the relic. It looks like it's going to go the wayside of Momo. There's a chance that Hagrit can spot the Theseus retreating back, bolt that one before the relic gets into the town center here, but it seems, or not the town center, the temple here, but it does seem like the Jason's just going to come in here, slap this villager off of this location and force Momo back into his base here. A really, really nice early game advantage right now for Hagrit as he's pushing off all of the food. Over here we see one villager about to fall, though, already to the Jason. That's huge for Hagrit as Momo gets the faster speed relic, but he loses a villager in the early stages of the game. Down 1 villager, 17 villagers to 18 villagers. We see hand axe coming through for Hagrit. Hagrit has only got 2 villagers on gold right now. He's got himself 2 villagers on the favor as well, as the Centaur are going to be immediately coming out. The Centaur is out now for Momo. He's going to be searching around. We see Momo now with enough resources to drop that second town center. He's going to be coming over onto this location here to build this one up, as we do see the Jason of Hagrit being chased down just a little bit here due to the extra speed that Momo's Theseus is going to have here. We are seeing Hagrit moving in right now with his Centaur going after some of those villagers on this location. We see some nice marker there from Momo as he runs into that tower. No problems here. We see the Centaur coming in for Momo though. That's going to be able to get a little bit of damage done onto the Centaur. A couple of shots coming through though for Hagrid as he's deciding to attack back. The villager popping out over here. Another Centaur coming in onto this location to start harassing this Centaur down, and it looks like that one might actually go the wayside of Hagrid as he managed to pick off that Centaur without losing any of his just yet. Town Center just about up for Momo, who's got his Hippolyta over here as well, as more Centaur are going to be coming through. As Sylvan Law actually getting researched right now for Hagrid, he's going to be looking for something to kill here as the Centaur roaming around the top side of the map, looking to get onto this gold mine, get onto this location over here. We do have the Hippolyta already on this position, so Hagrid cannot go into the opponent's base just yet. Needs to wait on his Sylvan Law to get past that Hippolyta or bolt the Hippolyta. Those are his options here. So we'll see where Hagrid's going to go. Right now, he's got himself 300 gold. He's got himself 400 wood. Going to be jumping onto these deer over here, moving forward to grab this town center. So it's going to be a delayed second town center after getting the 2 Centaur and Sylvan Law. Going to be looking for as much harass as he possibly can in this game. He is going to be going after these villages that are close to towers. You do have to be a little bit careful with that there, as the Centaur might shoot the arrows and the villager can just garrison into the tower. You're not going to lose the villager there. But now we see Hagrit moving up to the top side of the map, going to look to try and take down some of Momo's villagers over here on this location. We see the Hippolyta is over there, does get bolted down. I'm sure Momo's going to be rebuilding that one immediately here, has queued that up. But now we see the Centaur coming over here, pushing the villagers off of the Aurochs. At this point, there is not really a location that Hagrid's been able to find just yet to hit the raids. So he's still scouting around, still trying to find some villagers. There's a low HP villager here, which Hagrid can definitely pick off. He does manage to take that one down as Momo's going to be garrisoning that villager away. Hippolyta on the way right now for Momo as he's under a lot of pressure. Hagrid is down 2 villagers right now as he gets the second town center. So these Centaurs should be able to find some advantage here, find some amount of damage to level the playing field in terms of villager count. But right now, Hagrid's playing this early game very, very nicely with that second town center coming up as fast as he managed to do, and however many villagers he's managed to pick off right now as another stable is getting produced over here. The Centaur do come in onto this position a little bit too late on that focus fire or the attack there, as the villagers managed to jump into the town center. No problems there. As the Jason searching around, looking for something to take out the Centaur. Waiting over here, we are going to be seeing the Hippolyta and the Odysseus kind of trading blows there for a little bit before retreating away. The Centaur's returning back over onto this location here. He can pick off a villager or 2 on this wood line fairly easily, as he does manage to snipe that one there. The Theseus going to be moving in. The Centaur retreating away. Farms now coming down for Momo. Plenty of resources in the bank for Hagrid. He's got a lot of wood in the bank. I don't know what he's saving that up for. Maybe getting a third town center in the near future and then throwing farms down or something like that, as we do see the Theseus looks like it has been picked off there, as now Momo is going to be looking for some raids. But Hagrid can chase these down with the Centaur. Once you get enough Centaur, opponents' Hippocon seem a lot weaker than you might think, because they can come in, snipe a Centaur, move away, snipe a Hippocon, move away, snipe a Hippocon, move away. We are seeing these walls coming up a little bit late here for Hagrid, as Momo is going to be getting a little bit of damage done on here. Hagrid can turn around and just shank at this point. He does have a good amount of villagers here, but it will seem like one villager will go down very, very quickly. But it's a good trade here for Hagrid, picking off 3 Hippocon for 1 villager, and that's going to be fantastic there, as we are seeing these villagers retreating away. The Hippocon for Momo chasing these down. We do have a very low HP villager that has been the target there for Momo's Hippocon, as he will be able to take that down as well, still allowing Momo to have somewhat of an advantage at this point in the game. Are we going to be seeing any military buildings coming down for Hagrid or not? Hagrid is going to be throwing down a handful of stables just to have some defensive posture here, as the Centaur is going to be coming in onto this position to take that Hippocon out. Does manage to pick that one off, as now the other Hippocon will be finding or meeting its demise here, as now the chicken can start getting grabbed. But while this is going on, Momo's managed to give himself enough relief in this game to get his farms down. Resources for Momo are low. Population, though, 73 to 62. So still fairly even here with Hagrid having those Centaur out. as we're seeing the Hippocon coming up onto this location over here, but the walls are up, so there's not going to be really all too many locations for these Hippocon to get onto. We might see a Centaur falling in. Nice micro there from Momo to pull away that Hippocon. Don't want to be losing that one, but the Centaur going to get out of here. No problems just yet. As Hagrit's going to continue building his Centaur here. We've got the Katoskopos at the top side of the map, a handful of pigs that Hagrit's found going into the corner of the map there. We will see that Hippocon getting sniped down. Nice play there by Hagrit to keep that, those special abilities being used. So we see this wooden wall not able to get up as the villager going to be attempting to make a break for it. 4 villagers on the favor right now as more Centaur are going to be getting trained. The Hippocon getting picked off here as this villager is still making a break for it. He might be able to get into the tower as the Hippocons now turn their attention onto the Centaur, but will end up losing the majority of those Hippocon here as Momo going to have to retreat away. But while this is going on, Momo's macro right now is immaculate. He's going to be able to go to the Heroic Age very, very soon here as he's garrisoning those villages, and Aphrodite has been clicked up. We are seeing a 3rd town center as well going up on this location. So Momo playing this early game incredibly well against what Hagrit's doing here as we see the Hippocon going down, but these are simply just distractions right now by Momo. I was going to see some units coming up onto this position over here. The Hippocon are moving in to try and take down the Hippolyta. We see the Centaur coming onto this position to take down some of those villages. As the Centaur move in, we will see the Hippolyta getting 1 or 2 shots in before the Centaur retreating away. The town center getting awfully close to completion here, but I think that the Hippocon can go after the town center and prevent that one. That's going to force a ceasefire here. That's absolutely huge for Hagrit, because that means that Hagrit's now going to have access to a very, very strong underworld in the later stages of the game here. Very, very nice play here for by Hagrit to force that one. He's got plenty of units, potentially too many units out at this point. Yeah, he's going to be able to put the pressure on, but that's about it. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get too much damage with these done, especially because now Momo is going to be able to get himself access to the Nemean Lion, the Atlanta. He's going to be able to curse those Hippocon here as Momo's getting himself medium cavalry as well. Hagrit is getting himself his 3rd town center, or has his 3rd town center up as well. Villager differential is slightly in favor of Hagrit, but it's not big enough to be that much of a difference, and we will be seeing Apollo as the god of choice here for Hagrit as the unit's pushing in onto this position now, and I'm sure that Hagrid realizes he does not have the advantage right now with the Nemean Lion being out here. We do see some special abilities getting used there on said Nemean Lion before the unit's going to be retreating away. 1 Centaur does fall. Curse getting dropped down on this position now as the Hippocon will be retreating away. And, well, what Hagrid can do now is try and get, when he gets to the Heroic Age, you can make out a whole bunch of Prodromus to kind of deal with those Hippocon in an easy way. But with the Atlanta out, it's just going to be scary for Hagrit. Hagrit does have ceasefire himself though, so he might want to use that in order to buy himself some time to get to the Mythic Age or something like that, as the units getting picked off. The Atlanta kind of running around in circles here, not sure exactly what to do, as now finally does decide to get onto one of those Centaurs. Nice marker there by Hagrit, retreating away said Centaur, but more Centaurs getting targeted down as we do see the Heroic Age has come through now for Hagrit. He's not building those Prodromus straight away. He does have a handful of military buildings in the back here trying to build those out, but Momo hitting a really, really strong timing here as his economy is just in absolute, just getting absolutely huge right now. 1,500 food in the bank, 700 gold here, pushing in underneath this town center. We will be probably seeing a Mythic Age coming through very soon for Momo, as Momo is going to sacrifice all of these units underneath this location to get to said Mythic Age. And the question is going to be, can Hagrid keep up or not? Hagrid spam those units, and we will be seeing a Phaistos. So no Artemis here. Little bit of a surprise from Momo to see that. Normally we do see the Artemis here, but there is a ceasefire, so it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. As the units are going to be pushing back in onto this position. We could see an underworld onto this gold mine over here, but we'll see if it's going to happen or not, as Hagrit's going to be spamming out his units, staying in the Heroic Age for some time here, as Momo is now slowly producing his own units out, retreating away from Hagrit's army, just taking his time here, not overdoing anything, really aware of how important getting to that Mythic Age is. at this point. As we see more Hippocon getting sniped away here. A couple of units going down on the front here by Hagrit as he's trying to push in. 137 of 145 population. We don't see any attempt at a Pegasus just yet for Hagrit, as I mean, he should be thinking about underworlding somewhere here. As Masons and Quarry are coming through as well for Hagrit. He should be throwing up a market somewhere fairly soon. There is the villager in the corner. I love that he sends the villager in the corner. He just has to hit the idle villager button and check that out. As soon as he notices that, he'll be able to build that market perfectly in said corner there. As we see some militia getting taken out here. The hoplite getting taken out. Hephaestus just about to pop. There's that perfectly placed market for Hagrit, as Momo's also got a decent market over there. And we do have the Oseberg wagon in this corner that hasn't been picked up. Hagrit does know it exists, but that's going to be a big help for Hagrit in the late game here, as the unit's pushing in onto this position, trying to get as much damage as they possibly can. But Momo is going up through Forge of Olympus. He's going to have a significant advantage in terms of getting those upgrades out, and he wins that fight super hard there, as Hagrit's unit's just not able to really cut it there, as we are seeing some of those donkey caravans getting taken down. A Colossus isn't out now, as the Centaur going to be retreating away from there, looking for some villages to kill potentially on the back of that location there. Hagrit, with plenty of resources in the bank, is going to decide to go up through Hephaestus. Does still have ceasefire, but Momo is over a minute in front in terms of his upgrades right now, and he's got a significant advantage here. We are seeing the Centaurs getting a little bit of damage over here on this position, so that's going to be a big help for him, as we see two villages going down here. The villagers do turn around and start fighting this one over here. Hagrit not paying attention, as the Centaur may end up going down over here to basically mass villages, which you don't see very often, as both the Centaur do fall. Hagrit at 108 of 145 population, as now Momo's getting all of his upgrades. He's getting his full copper upgrades through right now, as the Prodromus moving in onto this position to take down some of those Hippocon that are pushing in. But with the help of those Toxotes, it's a little bit too much for Hagrit to handle here, as Carpenter's coming through as well for Momo, so he's going to have so many economic upgrades over what Hagrit's got. 105, 145 population. We've got full copper now. Ceasefire might want to be coming through for Hagrit. He does have it. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold here or not, as you do see the Jason and the Odysseus popping out over here, going to be able to take down the Colossus on this position here, as the Hippocon do move in onto this position, try and take out those Toxotes on the back here. I do not think that this town center is going to quite go down like Momo would want, but he has done the damage. I don't see any forward buildings, really, no forward fortress coming up just yet for Momo, as Forge of Olympus does immediately get grabbed there by Hagrit. Lots of, not really a lot of resources in the bank at all, but does have his plenty vault now, so at least he's equal in terms of income. But Momo does have a handful more donkey caravans than Hagrit does at this point. As the unit's pushing through, we do see the Polyphemus is going to be making his way into the fight. Such a big ticket unit to have here, but there is the Heracles, which is essentially the little brother of the Polyphemus. You can see the big club and the small club, and the big shield and the small shield. See, that's a thing, right? We will indeed see the Polyphemus going down before this town center ends up meeting its demise. Upgrade situation right now, almost full bronze for Momo, and as the fighting continues, it makes it really, really hard for the player who gets to the Mythic Age later to actually afford their upgrades, because while Hagrit's got Forge of Olympus, he just doesn't have any resources to spend right now, as Momo's up at 150 population. He's got himself his fortress on the front, getting himself out his Hippolyta here. He's going to be able to start thinking about Petropolis or Heliopoli here, as Hagrit going to be retreating away. Hagrit is at full population right now, but there's definitely room for a ceasefire to at least get the upgrade situation rolling here to try and catch up, as more of those donkey caravans coming out. 8 donkey caravans to 11. Momo's got his 80 villages. He's continuously pushing Hagrit back. We're starting to see some Heliopoli coming through for Hagrit here, as villages getting taken out on this position. Do we see any Heliopoli? We see a Petropolis queued up, so a wall on this position could go a really, really long way for Momo to push through this town center. as Hagrit is desperately trying to hold on here as the Heliopolis rolling in onto this position. Spirited Charge coming through for Hagrit as he wants to get a little bit more assistance from his cavalry in this situation, as Copper Shields finally coming through for Hagrit. He's very low on the gold as those donkey caravans just not quite paying for themselves just yet to help him out. As now Hagrit's pushing in with his Heliopoli as best as he can to take these units down, but it's just taking him a little bit too long to get the units that he needs out to hold this kind of a push. As we do see the Heliopolis going after each other here, that one's going to be going the wayside of the Momo, it would seem, as Momo trying to push through on this top side as well. There is a wall up, but he's not quite able to get in here just yet. We'll be able to start shaking down the wall though. This relic still chilling over here. The Osberg wagon, S tier relic, just still not that important, right? Yeah, it's like this is kind of the best relic in the game. But okay, anyways, onwards and upwards. We are seeing some raids coming over as the ceasefire is in. Coinage coming through for Momo, and Hagrit still not quite able to get his upgrades in. He still has none. He's got basically just copper shields here. Not copper shields, bronze. No, he does have copper shields right now, which is just not enough in this game. As we are seeing the units going to be moving up to the top side of the map to try and break through. And basically where to for Momo is the big question. He's got nearly fully upgraded units, just needs to get flood control, which is on the way. Iron weapons, iron mail coming through. If you take a look at his units here, he's almost got fully upgraded there, just missing his iron shields, which isn't that, well, I mean, it's kind of a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. As the ceasefire does end, we finally got bronze shields, copper weapons, copper mail coming through, irrigation coming through. Remember that Hagrit does still have himself Underworld, as we see the villagers turning around to try and take this fight. It's going to be a difficult one for him to hang on to over here as well, as we see one Hippocon going down. The hoplites marching over here. Hagrid with 8 hoplites is scary though. He can definitely Underworld here and take this town center down. Definitely as an option here, as champion infantry coming through for Momo as well. So Momo's got such a big advantage in tech, and all Hagrid's really got right now going for him is the fact he's still got a heroic age god power. We'll see if that's going to come anytime. As we're now starting to see Hagrid's hoplites moving up to the top side of the map. We've got military buildings coming down on this side as well for Momo, just trying to pincer in onto this town center here. He's going to be breaking down this gate, still forcing the fights here. Definitely want to continue to do that as he's got the advantage, as the hoplites coming in onto this position to try and hold. He's just jumping through the town center over here to jump straight onto those Toxotes as best as he can. The Heliopolis pushing in. Meanwhile, we do have some archery rangers coming through for Momo as he's continuing the building spam all over the map here, as the Heliopoli are going to continue to try and break through Hagrid's unupgraded town center. I definitely think the Petropolis at this point, not a bad idea with some walls, but the Heliopoli are a decent idea as well, as the Polyphemus going to be bashing down the town center as well. Now no units in to take down these Heliopoli. Hagrid's at 140 of 160 population. Momo's at 160 of 160 population, getting himself heavy archers. Weapons of the Titans as well, able to start thinking about making some of those to Tyroi if he really wants to. But we will be seeing Hagrid's town center ending up falling down, as Momo does force Hagrid to tap out in game 1, getting the first win in this best of 7 series with some incredibly strong macro play. I think this is going to tell the story. You see how the resources are exactly equal for all of this time, except the advance times are just so much earlier for Momo, and this is Momo's style. If you followed Momo through this tournament at all, you'll notice that Momo does decide to cut units early and favors teching much faster than the average player does. And if you can get on top of that and start thinking about why he does that, then maybe you can come up with some different types of strategies. For example, there's not really a whole lot of reason for Hagrid to build anything other than Centaur in the classical age here and in the heroic age. If he just goes mass Centaur, picks off those Hippocon that are raiding him, then he's going to be able to get a brutally fast Mythic Age and be in a much, much stronger position than Momo does. But going straight in with those with those units does slow him down, and if you can't find value with the units, your opponent's going to get you on the tech, and once he has the tech, he's never going to let up, and that is the reason Momo was able to push through here. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.